Hey guys, welcome back to Magnolia Pines Homestead. Amy here. I am so excited to be participating in Anna over at Fermented Homestead. She is hosting Fermented February this month. So last year was our very first time doing it, and I was brand new to fermenting, and I'm a little bit more experienced now, but not nearly as much as some of these other amazing collaborators. So make sure to go over and hop onto her playlist because there have been videos every day on fermenting, lots of really great recipes, lots of knowledge that is there, and to boot, Anna is giving away prizes. So you need to make sure to go check out those videos, like and comment on them, because that's how you're going to get your name in for the drawing. And also check out Anna's lives that she does on Monday nights, I believe at 7 p.m. Central, but if that's not correct, then I'll put the correct time right here. All right, let's get started with what we've got going today. So I'm going to show you how to do fermented lemonade as well as a limoncello. So there's a couple different ways that you can do fermented lemonade. I'm going to show you first one where we're going to make a ginger bug. So ginger bugs is actually, it's going to be quite easy. All you need is 2 cups of warm filtered water. You're going to also use, make sure you're using organic, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and then we are going to do 1 ounce of ginger. Now this is roughly, if you don't have a scale, this will give it to like 3/4 of your hand, okay? So that was right. This was right at 1 ounce of ginger, and then I will show you after we finish this, getting it chopped up. I will show you how much to feed it for the next 3 to 5 days. All right, so this is the type of jar that I'm going to be using. I just like it because it has a little bit of the little flip lid that's easy to burp it when it needs to be. But we're going to start with that. I'm going to put in 2 cups of warm water, and then 2 teaspoons of organic sugar, and then we're just going to make sure that that gets mixed up well, and then we're going to chop our ginger up roughly. You do not need to peel it. You want to keep that peel on there. That's what the natural yeast is going to be feeding off with the sugar. So we're going to keep that on there, and then just do like a nice little rough chop with it, and then put it in there, and then close it up, and that's pretty much it. All right, I'm using my little handy tea kettle I got here. So I'm just going to put 2 cups of warm water. I heat this up till about like 140. You just want to make sure that you can dissolve the sugar into the jar. Okay. And next we've got sugar. I'm going to do, again, 2 teaspoons. Easy little measurement here. And then we're just going to stir that up. So we're just going to do a rough chop on this, place it into the jar that has the warm sugar water. Now I have seen some different recipes where some people want to shred up the ginger. I like doing it this way because it's easier to strain in the end. All right, we have got our ginger and our warm water and our sugar here, and now this is done. We're just going to lock it up, and this is going to sit on our counter just like you would any other fermentation you got going on. Keep it out of the drafts. It's just going to out of the sunlight for this one. We just want to keep it room temp. And now we're going to let this sit for 3 to 5 days, but you will be, each day, you're going to feed it. And that's going to be 1 teaspoon of sugar and then another 1/2 ounce of ginger. And for me, for my thumb, I measured this out on my scale. This was about just a little bit more than my thumb. This was that was 1/2 ounce. So you're just going to do the same thing. You're going to chop it up roughly. You're going to add another teaspoon of sugar in here, and then you're just going to stir, and that is how you feed it each day. Now once you see bubbles, and it could be between days 3 and 5 depending on your temperature, you're going to know that it's ready. And it'll also smell a little bit yeasty as well. So that is now set aside, and we're going to start on our next project. Now once I was reading about it, I will be honest that I forgot to take care of my last one, so that's why we're starting a new one right now. But I was reading where you could kind of like you do with a sourdough starter. If you're not using it often, then you can put it in the fridge, feed it, wake it up, and then use it again for if you're wanting to do your your fermented teas or any like fruit juices, stuff like that. Speaking of which, if you are ready to use it, once it's bubbly and it smells yeasty, what you're going to do is take a half cup of the strained ginger bug, and you're going to add that to 7.5 cups of either your juice or your tea, and then put it into a pitcher and it's ready to go. All right, now we are actually going to jump ahead to limoncello because I need to use the peels off of these lemons. Now, another important note, make sure to use organic lemons for this because the conventional lemons have a wax over them. We're not trying to ferment that wax and infuse it into our liquor, so make sure to get organic on that. One of our first major vacations that we did was to Italy, and that was on my bucket list. Had to go there. It was an amazing time. In Rome, we had a local give us a recommendation for a restaurant that more of the locals that enjoyed going, not as touristy, and it was so good. At the end of the meal, the man that owned the restaurant came out and offered us a free limoncello drink. I had never tried one before, but it's great. It's very tart and it was sweet at the same time, but also, the lemon had such a really great zest to it. And it's just a nice way to finish off the meal. So just something that you can sip on lightly and just kind of get like a palate cleanser. And also it is like a digestive aid. So bonus points for that. This recipe is super easy. You're going to need a bottle of Everclear to begin with. The recipe I have calls for 190 proof. I could not find it in our area, so 151 is the lowest that it recommended to go. And I'm actually just going to use this same bottle. I'm going to peel off with a vegetable peeler. I'm just going to peel off the outside of the lemon here. Now you don't want to go super deep with it. You don't want to get that pith, that white part, because that'll make your limoncello bitter, and we don't want that. Now, if you go a little bit too deep and you end up with some parts of the white on there, just take a knife and very easily cut off as much as possible of that because we don't want bitter limoncello. So we have 12 lemons here. I'm actually finding a little bit more controlling to go from this direction. I can control the depth a little bit easier. You see that it's not getting any of that pith on there. So I'm going to do all 12 here, and then we'll set them on the side, and then we'll just dip them or drop them into our Everclear. Now that we've got our pile of our lemon peels, it's time to drop them into the Everclear to get them start infusing. So this actually came with, I ordered the wrong size. Originally I was going to use aren't these so cute? I was going to use a taller version of these to use for the limoncello. However, I got them a little too small. They're the perfect size for extracting vanilla though. That'd be perfect for that. So since I can't use those, I'm just going to drop them in, which just works better anyway because we can just screw the lid on and it's good to go. And then we're reusing a bottle that's not going to the dump. All right, so I fibbed. I quickly found out, you can see it's all the way at the very top right now. Look how pretty it's already looking though. This is gonna overflow and I need all that liquid. So instead what I'm gonna do is I've got another one of these jars. I'm just gonna drop the lemon peels in here, pour the Everclear on top, close it up, and then let it get fermenting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this jar so once this is done infusing in together, I'm going to reuse this jar to pour the limoncello back in there, and then now I've poured it into another one of these snap lid jars, and I'm just going to put all of our lemon peels in here and close it up. Another easy ferment done. So this is all we need to do for now. What we're going to do now is put this in a dark, cool place and let it sit for 2 weeks. You don't need to burp it or anything like that. You just set it in there and let the magic happen. After 2 weeks, you're going to know that it's ready to be strained because the lemon peels will actually be white. They'll be able to break in two, and then your Everclear will have turned yellow. So now it's time to go ahead and strain it. I would suggest a fine mesh strainer, as well as like maybe a couple layers of cheesecloth, just so you can make sure to get all that, any debris, all the peels out of there. Save that liquid, put it back into your jar, and then the same jar, your little snap lid, and then you're going to make a simple syrup. Now, if you've never done that before, it's just as easy as it sounds. You're going to take a small saucepan, put in 3 cups of water, 3 cups of sugar, bring it to a light boil, stir it around, turn off the heat, and let it cool down. to room temp, and then you can add it back into your infusion, stir it up real good, and then you're going to make sure to close that lid back up and set it back in that cool dark spot for another 2 weeks. After the next 2 weeks, that's when it's time to put it into your bottle that you've been saving up. Now, if you forgot to save that bottle, just make sure that the bottle that you're using is freezer safe, because you're going to want to keep this nice and chill. So you can just pop it in your freezer and then it's good to go. All right, back to our lemonade. If alcoholic drinks are not for you, no worries at all. I've got a delicious drink ready to go for you. All right, so we're going to talk about fermented lemonade now. I wrote the recipe down so I make sure not to mess it up, but I'm also going to be ready to pause right here and I'll put it on the screen. Okay. All right, so you're going to need 6 cups of warm water, 1 cup of honey. I've got some of our local honey here. And then you want to make sure that it's good honey. It's important for it because, you know, there's lots of honeys out there that have stuff added to them, and you want good natural honey. You're also going to use 1 cup of fresh lemon juice. I've got our lemon set aside here that we took the peels off of for our limoncello. And then we're going to use a 1/2 cup. Now this is where if you had a ginger bug already established, that's where you could add a 1/2 cup of strained ginger bug in here. And then you could use that for your fermented lemonade. Today, what I'm actually going to use is a bottle of kombucha because I don't have kombucha on hand yet, so I'm getting ready to learn that process. More to come on that. But we're going to use a 1/2 cup of a berry lemonade kombucha, and then we're also going to add 2 raisins in there, and more to come on that. We're going to take some more of our warm water here, just like we did for our ginger bug. We're going to add in 6 cups of warm water. Uh-oh, it's getting light. I hope I have enough. I did not. Hold on, I gotta heat up some more water. I got that extra cup added in, so we've got 6 cups of our warm water in our bowl here. Now I'm going to pour in 1 cup of honey. That's a beautiful color. Okay, 1 cup of honey. Whoop. I'm just going to mix up that honey until it's blended in well with that water. Looks to be pretty good here. Now we're going to add 1 cup of fresh lemon juice. All right, as I mentioned, I don't have any kombucha on hand, but I have a berry lemonade one that I picked up at Publix. So I'm going to use a 1/2 cup, and what this is going to do is just kickstart that fermentation since you've got the live cultures in there. And I got another jar. I'm actually going to have to use 2 of these since we did 6 cups, because these only do, I think, up to 4. Yeah, 4 cups. So what I'm going to do is split the mixture between 2 of these, do my best to make sure that, I've mixed everything together really well, but just make sure that I, kind of stir as I go, make sure everything's getting put into both jars so we get some bubbly fermentation going on. Well, that actually worked out pretty much perfectly. So I've got both of the jars filled. Now, one thing to note, you do want to leave at least 1 inch headspace in your jar, just as they've got the fermentation going on in there. Oh, I forgot to add one thing to it. Let me grab it real quick. All right, so the recipe calls for, and they said this is optional, but I'm a visual learner and I like the idea of it. So I found some organic raisins at Publix, and it says to drop 2 in each. So what that's going to do is those raisins are going to soak up that carbon dioxide as the ferments go. So boom, boom, got 2 in there. And I'll put 2 in the next one. But the raisins are going to soak up that carbon dioxide. And then you're going to know in about 2 or 3 days when you'll see bubbles in there, you'll know that it's ready. And then as a visual cue, the raisins will be plumped up and will be floating around in there. So that's a good way to know that your fermented lemonade is ready to go. Now at this point, once you've seen the bubbles, the raisin is floating in there, that's a good indication it's ready to go. And at this point, that's when you're going to pop into the fridge, let it cool, let it mingle in there another couple days, 2 to 3 days, and then serve it over some ice and enjoy. How pretty are those? So we've got our limoncello here that is infusing, and then we've got our gorgeous fermented tea or fermented lemonade. And then I'm going to set those aside. We're going to let, oh, real quick also, make sure, just as the other suggestions, keep these out of the sun, out of a drafting area. Just keep them off to the side where they can ferment at a room temperature. And do not burp this. This is how you're going to keep your bubbles in there and get that effervescence for your drink, okay? If you've tried making your own fermented lemonades, what flavors have you done with yours? I'd love to hear from you. Or with your ginger bugs, what type of drinks, fermented drinks, have you tried with that? Or if you made your own limoncello, let me know how it turned out for you. I'm really excited to try this in about a month or so. Be a really great, refreshing treat in the summertime. Thanks so much for hopping on, you guys. Don't forget to go check out the other Fermented February videos over on Anna's channel. I'm also going to be posting down in the description below. It's going to have a link to all those other channels in alphabetical order, so you can hop on and check out their videos. And don't forget to go like and comment, because you want to get in for those amazing prizes. And to know what they are, you got to hop over to Anna's channel and check out her giveaway post. Thanks again for hopping on. I will see you in the next video. Oh, real quick, I will be posting shorts updating you along the way as how my ginger bug goes, so make sure to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for me, and then I will follow along with how my tea's going, or I keep calling it tea, how my lemonade's going, and also update you about the limoncello. Have a great day, you guys.